19,000 years ago, during the final, violent throes of the Ice Age, a mystery was written in the snow. Storms would tear across the frozen tundra, burying the world in white, and when the blizzards broke, something impossible would appear. Footprints. Not just any footprints. These were human-like, but too light, too narrow, and perfectly aligned, as if the person who made them was walking on the wind itself. One young hunter, Arvak, saw them along a ridge after a storm and knew instantly. No one in his tribe walked like that. No one even could. He didn't know it yet, but these were the first signs of the people known as the Sky Hunters. Every morning after a storm, Arvak would find the tracks. They always appeared, always led toward the distant, jagged mountains, and never returned. The elders of his tribe were dismissive. Ghost tracks. They'd say tricks of the wind, forget them. But Arvak couldn't. The winters were getting harsher. The mammoths were changing their migration routes, and prey was becoming dangerously scarce. He became obsessed. If there truly was a tribe that could hunt through the fiercest storms, a people who could move when everyone else was forced to hide, then they held the key to his people's survival. He had to find them. His investigation only deepened the mystery. One day, Arvak found something that defied all logic. A line of the strange footprints, perfectly overlapping a set of fresh wolf tracks. The snow all around was untouched. Whoever made these prints had stepped in the exact same spots as the wolf without sinking into the powder or disturbing a single flake. Another time, he found prints following the trail of a massive deer. Then, mid-stride, they just vanished, as if the hunter had leaped into the air and simply never landed. Fear and fascination twisted together in Arvak's mind. Were they ghosts? Or something far more advanced? He started to follow the freshest trails, pushing himself to keep up. He soon discovered a pattern. The prints always led to the same place. A sheer cliff wall at the very edge of the valley. A vertical rise of stone and ice that no human could possibly climb. And yet, every single time, the tracks ended right there. His tribe began to think he was mad, chasing shadows. But Arvak saw something else. This wasn't a myth. It was a skill. It was a technique. It was survival knowledge his people desperately needed if they were going to see another spring. Then, the storm of death arrived. A catastrophic blizzard, the worst in memory, slammed into their camp. 3 hunters were lost to the whiteout. Their precious food stores were buried under an impenetrable layer of ice. The tribe huddled together, the fear of extinction a cold, hard presence in their hearts. But in the midst of the despair, Arvak remembered something crucial about the strange tracks. Where they appeared, the wind didn't just carve valleys of snow, it carved pathways. So, while others sheltered, he set out, following the storm itself, climbing toward the sheer cliff, fighting the sideways snow, blinded and freezing. When he finally reached the rock face, his strength gave out. Collapsed, and fell right through a hidden opening, an entrance to a cave revealed by the shifting ice. Inside, the air was still and ancient, and the walls were covered in paintings. He saw figures with impossibly long strides, running with swirling winds painted around their bodies. He saw illustrations of hunting methods he'd never imagined. Nets woven from tough grasses, and sinew. Strange harnesses designed for traversing steep cliffs. Spears with aerodynamic shapes meant to cut through gales. They weren't ghosts, they were a forgotten clan. A people who had adapted to live in and around the storms. In a deeper chamber, he found a final clue. Footprints, fossilized in hardened mud. They were small, with sharp impressions, made by people who ran on the sides of mountains. And then he saw a painted message, old but clear, a warning that the great storms would soon bury their valley forever. The Sky Hunters hadn't vanished into the air. They had moved upward, toward new lands beyond the peaks, and disappeared from history. Arvak returned to his tribe not as a madman, but as a savior. He brought with him the knowledge of the Sky Hunters. He taught his people how to track prey by reading wind shifts, how to build snow shelters strong enough to withstand any blizzard, and how to use natural footholds to climb impossible heights. Most importantly, he taught them how to hunt with the wind, using it as an ally instead of an enemy. Within a few winters, Arvak's tribe wasn't just surviving, they were thriving. They never saw the Sky Hunters again, but their techniques, their legacy, spread from tribe to tribe, evolving into strategies that would help our ancestors master a changing world. Decades later, Arvak, now an elder, made one last journey to the hidden cave. The climate had shifted. The valley was almost unrecognizable, but the fossilized footprints remained silent. Perfect reminders of a people who taught humanity how to survive the Ice Age. Were a people who rose into the storms and were never seen again. Their last trail became our first step. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the past.